It's Max and Steph's big day, and there are a few surprises in store. Neighbours at 1:40 here on BBC One.
These 5 people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten? Hello, welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against arguably the greatest quiz team in Britain. You may recognise some of them because they're all past winners of some of the most difficult quiz shows in Britain. Please welcome our dream team.
Hi, my name's Judith Keppel, and I was the first person in Britain to win £1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Hello, I'm Kevin Ashman, and I currently hold the record for the highest ever score on Mastermind.
Hi, I'm CJ Demouy. I've been a winner on 15 to 1, 100% and beat the nation.
Hello, I'm Daphne Fowler. I've been taking part in television quizzes for a quarter of a century now, and I won the grand final of 15 to 1 twice.
Hello, I'm Chris Hughes. I'm still international mastermind, and I never got a question wrong on the weakest link.
Well, taking on the might of the Eggheads today are the Streatham Massive. They've known each other for 8 years and play every week at the Streatham Hogshead in South London. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Duncan, I'm 31, and I'm a cameraman.
Hi, I'm Alex, I'm 26 and I'm a tube driver.
Hello, I'm Chris, I'm 34 and I'm a bookmaker.
Hello, I'm Helen, I'm 29, I'm a forensic scientist.
Hi, I'm Steve, I'm 31 and I'm a civil servant.
Well, welcome Streatham Massive, and best of luck to you all. And Alex, tell us what you do.
I'm a tube driver.
Well, of course, Chris, you worked on the Underground for, what, 13 years, didn't you?
13 years, yeah.
Any views on women train drivers?
I'm all for them, frankly. I mean, it needs a level of concentration and alertness that women have got just as much as men.
Absolutely. Here. And Alex, you're going to give it all up, aren't you?
I am. I've only actually got a week left to work there, and then I'm going off to train as a commercial pilot.
Fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Well, listen, every day there's £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat our Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. So, Streatham Massive, the Eggheads have won a record 19 games. A massive £20,000, therefore, says that you can't beat the Eggheads. And the first head-to-head battle will be on the subject of its entertainment I have before me. And challengers, which one of you wants to play and which Egghead do you want to take on?
I think we're going to go with Alex.
I think it's going to have to be you, darling.
Yep.
Definitely Anne.
Right,
Who do we go?
Alex will go.
I'll go.
OK, Alex, and who are you going to play?
Stick me against the other tube driver.
Yes, that's what we wanted. Excellent. So, Alex against international mastermind Chris on entertainment. And to ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions in the question room. Well, round 1, entertainment, and it's the battle of the tube. I'll ask each of you 3 multiple-choice questions on entertainment in turn. Whoever answers the most questions correctly will be the winner of this particular head-to-head and will progress to the final round. Alex, your choice. Would you like to go first or second?
I think I'll go second.
Right then, Chris, Alex has chosen to go second, so here's your first question. Justin Hawkins and his brother Dan are members of which rock group? Muse, The Darkness, or Radiohead?
I have not the remotest idea, Dermot. I'm completely in the dark about rock music. Because the word darkness popped into my mind, on the sort of CJ logic, I'll go for The Darkness.
CJ, what do you think?
It's The Darkness.
It is The Darkness, Chris. Goodness gracious me, Alex. You see what happens here? He has no idea, but there it is. It's 1-0 to Chris. Thought we might catch him out there, but Alex, here's your first question to draw level. Which musical, first performed in 1948, is based on Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew? Is it Kiss Me Kate, West Side Story, or Anything Goes?
I will go with Kiss Me Kate.
Why, Alex?
Because it rings a bell and it sounds familiar, so I'm going to go with it.
Other massive members there, what do we think?
I think she's right.
Yeah.
I think she's right.
It is right.
So do I. That makes it 1-1. Very well done indeed. Here's your second question, Chris. In January 2004, who replaced Sarah Cox as the host of Radio 1's breakfast show? Was it Vernon Kay, Colin Murray, or Chris Moyles?
I never listened to Radio 1, but something at the back of my mind is saying Vernon Kelly for some reason.
Well, he's not up there, but you mean Vernon Kay.
Vernon Kay, yeah.
The answer is Chris Moyles. So, there we are. As expected, Alex, a stumble from Chris in this category. Your second question. Best of luck. Who plays the title role in the television series Murphy's Law? Is it Alan Davis, James Nesbitt, or Martin Kemp? Murphy's Law.
It's James Nesbitt.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
Hey, well, then I won't hang around. It is the right answer. It also puts you into a 2-1 lead and a very strong position then. It means you just may get into that final round if Chris gets this wrong. Chris, your third question. Thank You was a worldwide hit for which singer in 2004? Was it Jamelia, Kylie Minogue, or Pink?
It's not Kylie Minogue, I don't think. I've never heard of Pink. So I'll go out with a bang and say Jamelia.
Okay. Have you heard of Jamelia?
No.
He's got the right answer somehow. It is Jamelia. Thank You was a worldwide hit for Jamelia in 2004. That's kept you in the game. So, Alex, your chance to put Chris out to be playing in the final round. Here you go. Which British writer received an Oscar nomination for writing the 2002 film Dirty Pretty Things? Was it Shane Meadows, Simon Beaufoy, or Steve Knight?
I'm inclined towards Shane Meadows, but I don't know why. We'll go with Shane Meadows.
Is that what you're telling me, Alex? Okay.
Yes.
This would take you through into the final round, put Chris out, Alex. But I'm afraid it won't, because the answer is Steve Knight. So that leaves it at 2-2, which means, of course, we go to sudden death. So, Chris, you've just got to give me the correct answer, and also for you, Alex. Chris, By the Sleepy Lagoon is the theme tune for which radio show?
Desert Island Discs.
Yeah, By the Sleepy Lagoon is the theme tune for Desert Island Discs. So, again, Alex, let's see if you can stay in the game then once again. Who played the title role in the television sitcom Shelley?
Oh, I can't remember his name. I could see his face. Nicholas Lyndhurst, but I know it's not the right answer.
It was Howell Bennett. After a valiant struggle of the London Underground, it means that Chris has emerged triumphant. Alex, you were beaten by Chris. As a result, you won't be playing in the final round. Will you both please come back and join your teams? Right, as it stands, the challengers have lost one brain from the final round, whilst the Eggheads have lost none of theirs. Our next subject, we move on to science then, Streatham Massive. Who wants to play and who do you want to play against?
That's you, Helen.
Okay.
Yeah. Helen, and take your pick.
I'm going to take Daphne.
Helen, you're going to play Daphne. And Daphne, let me tell you, has lost twice on science, so could be another good choice. Daphne, you just don't like science, is it?
No,
is it?
no.
Helen, is it a specialist subject for you, or was it just that the others are also rubbish at it?
Well, I'm a forensic scientist, so I kind of feel like I should take on science, and if I do really badly, then I'm going to be in big trouble.
OK, Helen against our multi-times 15-1 champion, amongst other things, Daphne. To ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions in the question room. Well, Helen, are you going to lead off or let Daphne?
I think I'll go first, thank you.
Here's your question. Science. John Logie Baird was a pioneer of which technological innovation? Was it television, the automobile, or the microchip?
I think it's television.
Yes, without him, no one would be watching us at this very moment. Well done, Helen. 1-0 to you. OK, Daphne, your first question. Who was the third member of the Apollo 11 moon mission alongside Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong? Was it Michael Collins, was it Jim Lovell, or was it Jack Swigert?
It was Michael Collins.
Michael Collins. The one who didn't get to walk on the moon.
Exactly.
Kevin?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. He was the one who had to stay up with the main vehicle while the other two did their stuff.
Yeah, it was Michael Collins, but at least he got a nice close look at it, didn't he? Right, here we go. 1-1. Your second question, Helen. Which disease common to children is a form of the varicella zoster virus? There are the choices: measles, chickenpox, or mumps.
I'm pretty sure it's chickenpox.
Open-jawed with amazement from the rest of the Streatham Massive. Not a clue, I can tell. It is the right answer. That's 2-1 to you then, Helen. Going great guns. Daphne, your second question. Which metal is an alloy of copper and zinc? Is it steel, brass, or iron?
It's brass.
I'm getting pretty brassed off with all these right answers coming from the Eggheads. That's 2-2, and on it goes. Helen, the trapezium is a bone in which part of the human body? Is it the foot, the ear, or the wrist? The trapezium.
It's in the ear.
The trapezium is a bone in the wrist, I'm afraid, Helen. So, Daphne, a chance for you to fix your record in this category if you get this one correct. Daphne, which liquid takes its name from the Latin words meaning rock and oil? Is it petroleum, gasoline, or paraffin?
Well, I assume it's petroleum.
Bit of nodding there, CJ.
Petrology is the study of rocks.
Okay, the liquid that takes its name from the Latin words meaning rock and oil is petroleum, which means, Daphne, one slip from Helen, and she's gone. Well done, Daphne. Helen, you've been beaten. As a result, you won't be taking your place in the final round either. Daphne, Helen, please come back and join your teams. Well, now, Streatham Massive, the alarm bell should just be beginning to ring because you've lost 2 brains out of 2 from the final round, whilst the Eggheads still haven't lost any. So we have our next head-to-head now, and it's geography. Who wants to play? It can't be Alex or Helen, and who would you like to take on? It can't be Daphne or Chris. Who's it going to be?
It'll be me.
OK, you, Stephen, against?
CJ.
Against CJ. And CJ, your record in geography?
Reasonable, I think.
50-50. Won 3, lost 3. Played 6 altogether. So again, perhaps not a bad choice, Steve. OK, Steve and CJ, to ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions in the question room. Well, Stephen, let's see if we can get you through to the final round. This could be crucial. Would you like to go first or second?
I think I'll go second.
Right then, CJ, Stephen's elected to go second, so here's your first question. What's the name for the treeless zones found in Arctic regions? Tundra, savanna, or veldt?
I think it'd be very unusual if you found the savanna or the veldt in Arctic region, so I'll go for tundra.
It is tundra, that is the correct answer. So 1-0 to you. Your first question then, Stephen. Which county is traditionally known as the Garden of England? Is it Kent, Dorset, or Hampshire?
I actually work there, it's Kent.
OK, would have been a bit embarrassing if you got that one wrong, wouldn't it? That's 1-1, OK. CJ, your second question. Saxony is a state in which European country? Is it France, the Netherlands, or Germany?
I think it's in Germany.
You think?
I think.
Judith?
Yes, absolutely right.
Been there on your travels?
No, never been there.
OK, yeah, Saxony is a state in Germany, of course. That makes it 2-1 to you, CJ. And your second question then, Stephen. In the US state of Massachusetts, what is Martha's Vineyard? An island, a mountain, or a valley? What is Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts?
I'm going to go with Valley.
OK, Duncan.
It's not, it's an island.
Noted holiday spot, isn't it? Especially for politicians. In the US state of Massachusetts, Martha's Vineyard, Stephen, is an island, I'm afraid, so not the right answer there. CJ, your third question on geography. Which island group takes its name from the Danish phrase meaning the Sheep Islands? The Faroes, the Shetlands, or the Hebrides?
As the Faroes are owned by Denmark, let's go for that.
It is the right answer, CJ. So there we are. It's 3-1. No need to ask you your last question, I'm afraid. Stephen, CJ has defeated you. Another egghead goes through into that final round. Will you both please come back and join your teammates? So there we are. The challengers have lost 3 brains from the final round. The eggheads have lost none of theirs. So we move on to our next subject and our last head-to-head before the final round, and it's sport. Duncan or Chris, it's one of you.
It's going to be you.
Chris.
It's going to be me.
Chris.
Who do you want to take, mate? I'd like to take Kevin, please.
You're quite interested in sport, aren't you?
Well, I work in a bedding shop as a manager, so I have to know bits and bobs about it, yeah.
So, Chris, let's see if you can eject one of the eggheads and make sure that Duncan has some company in that final round. To ensure there's no conferring, would you both please take your positions in the question room? Chris, would you like to go first or second?
I'd like to go first, please.
It's sport, and here's your first question. Who was the losing finalist in the World Snooker Championships 6 times between 1984 and 1994? Was it Jimmy White, John Parrott, or Steve Davis?
Jimmy White.
That is the right answer. Jimmy White lost the World Snooker Championship 6 times between 84 and 94. So, Kevin, your first question on sport. Monza is a Formula One racing circuit in which country? Monza. Is it in Spain, Mexico, or Italy?
It's in Italy. It's where the Italian Grand Prix is held.
Funny that being in Italy, that it's the Italian Grand Prix.
Well, it's logical, isn't it? Yeah, you've also got Imola, which is in Italy, which is where the San Marino Grand Prix is held, so it's not... Yeah.
I consider myself told, Kevin. It's 1-1. Chris, your second question. Jason Quealy won a gold medal in which sport at the 2000 Sydney Olympics? Was it rowing, was it cycling, or was it sailing?
I'm going to plump for sailing, because I don't think we did get a gold in cycling. Rowing, I don't know many individual rowers, so I'm going to go for sailing.
OK. Duncan, you're the only other one of the Streatham Massive who could have been there. Would you have said sailing?
I would have said cycling.
Cycling is the right answer, Chris. It's not sailing, so I'm afraid nothing on the board there for you. So a chance to go into the lead. Kevin, your second question. Who won the Open Golf Tournament in 2003? Was it Ben Curtis, Mike Weir, or Justin Leonard?
It was Ben Curtis, man who came out of nowhere. Real surprise outside winner.
The Open Golf Tournament was won by Ben Curtis in 2003. So there we go. That makes it 2-1, which means, Chris, you know what you've got to do to stay in the game and have a chance of playing for that £20,000. Which racket sport was formerly called Pune after the Indian city in which it was devised? Was it squash, tennis, or badminton?
Tennis, that was invented over here. Squash, it's an awfully sweaty game. I'm going to go for badminton, because Pune sounds like an Indian word for feather, as in what the shuttlecocks were made out of.
Well, that may well be, but it's the name of the Indian city in which this particular sport was devised, but we're taking badminton.
Oh, well.
And however you worked it out, even if the logic was wrong, the answer was correct. Very well done indeed, Chris. That makes it 2-2, but it's maybe a very short-lived reprieve there, because Kevin has it in his power to put you out as well, Chris. Kevin, your third question. Whom did Bjorn Borg defeat to win his first Wimbledon singles title in 1976? Jimmy Connors, Elina Stasi, or Roscoe Tanner?
To cast my mind back to this one, I know that Borg did beat Tanner in a final, but I don't think it was 1976. I may regret this, but I'm going to go for Connors.
It's the wrong answer, Kevin. It's Eli Nastasi. Defeated Eli Nastasi in 1976. Chris, you're back in it. It's sudden death now, of course. You've both had 3 multiple-choice questions each. It stays at 2-all. So, Chris, until 1954, which current sporting event was known as the British Empire Games?
I'm going to go for the Commonwealth Games.
It is, of course, the Commonwealth Games. Well done, Chris. All the pressure now back on Kevin. Here's your question. In 2002, Kevin, songwriter Tim Rice became the president of which sporting institution?
I do know he's a great cricket fan, so I assume it's probably something to do with cricket, but it could be almost anything. OK, well, no, I don't know, so I'm going to go for Middlesex County Cricket Club.
Kevin, it's very rare for this to happen, for you to lose a head-to-head.
Doesn't surprise me.
To also do the analysis, it's the MCC, it's the Marylebone Cricket Club. That's the sporting institution Tim Rice became the president of in 2002. Chris, you're through to the final round, and you've also taken out Kevin as well, which means that there'll be 2 of you, as I say, in the final round playing for £20,000. Will you both please come back and join your teams? It's time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge, but I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this. So Alex, Helen and Stephen from the Streatham Massive and Kevin from the Eggheads, would you please leave the studio? Well, Duncan and Chris, you're playing to win the Streatham Massive, a massive £20,000. Judith, CJ, Daphne and Chris, you're playing for something which money can't buy, the Eggheads' reputation. This time the questions are all general knowledge and you are allowed to confer. So, Streatham Massive, the question is, are your 2 brains better than the Eggheads' 4 brains? Duncan and Chris, would you like to go first or second?
I think we'd like to go first.
Chris and Duncan, here we go. In 1999, Helen Clark was elected Prime Minister of which country? Ireland, Canada or New Zealand?
I don't think it's Ireland.
I don't think it's Canada either. New Zealand's the kind of sort of place that has a few more people.
We'll go for New Zealand.
Yeah, go.
New Zealand.
New Zealand is the right answer. It's 1-0 to you. Helen Clark was elected Prime Minister of New Zealand in 1999. Eggheads, which designer opened a Kings Road boutique called Bazaar in 1957? Was it Coco Chanel, Mary Quant or Zandra Rhodes? Coco Chanel, Mary Quant or Zandra Rhodes?
It's Mary Quant.
Mary Quant opened Bazaar in the Kings Road in 1957. That makes it 1-1, so on we go. What's the meaning of the judicial term subpoena when translated from the Latin? Is it deliverance, in person, or under penalty?
It's under penalty.
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
The judicial term subpoena, when translated from the Latin, means under penalty. 2-1 means you're under pressure, Eggheads. Your second question. The game Mahjong originated in which country? Is it China, Japan, or Korea?
You're there.
If you remember from the last series, I have played Mahjong and terribly unsuccessfully, but it's Chinese.
So you played a bit?
Yeah. I lost game after game after game.
Well, you haven't lost game after game after game of Eggheads, so you've won game after game after game, and you're still getting those questions right. That's 2-2. OK, you get this right, they get theirs wrong. You've got £20,000 for you and the other team members of the Streatham Massive. Which king of the ancient kingdom of Lydia has become synonymous with great wealth? Croesus, Tantalus, or Sisyphus?
We're going to go for Croesus.
Duncan, you weren't waiting for the choices there.
Yeah, I knew that.
You did know it. 3-2 in the driving seat. Fingers crossed. Eggheads, if you get this question wrong, they've won £20,000, and your longest winning streak in the history of the entire game is over. Here it is. Inhabitants of which English county are known as moonrakers? Is it Wiltshire, Lancashire or Kent?
Wiltshire, Dermot.
Why are they called moonrakers?
Because as an illustration of their general yokelish stupidity, apparently they're accused of trying to rake the reflection of the moon out of a pond with rakes.
Actually, they had contraband hidden there and they were fooling the Inland Revenue.
Yeah. What are you doing there? Oh, you trying to rake the moon out of the pond?
I see you were being ironic there.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of coming up with a huge apology there to the people.
No, it was a bit of guile, if you like.
Absolutely, dug us out of the hell because they were smarter than the revenue men. Yes, it is people from Wiltshire who are known as moonrakers, so that makes it 3-all. And on we go in this massive tussle. As you know, we now move to sudden death, so no potential answers coming up there for you to guess at. I just need to hear the answer straight from you. Here we go. I liked the shaver so much, I bought the company. Is a slogan attributed to which US businessman? I liked the shaver so much, I bought the company.
It was Victor Kiam.
It was Victor Kiam, yeah. Well done. OK, back to the Eggheads. Get this wrong and they've got their £20,000. And look how happy they'd be. And more to the point for you, that long streak is over. The greatest tragedy is indifference is a slogan used by which charitable organisation since 1961?
Do you think NSPCC?
When was it?
This lot have only lost the money 3 times overall.
Yes.
Red Cross? I think NSPCC is more likely.
You think NSPCC?
All right, then yeah. Well, I don't want to be responsible. Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Go on.
All right, fine.
I'm not responsible. No, it's fine. NSPCC.
The NSPCC. It's the wrong answer, Eggheads. It's the Red Cross. £20,000. Streatham Massive. Is it just me, or do I just get the slight inkling you're a bit pleased about that?
Oh my God.
Reasonably so. Reasonably happy, I think, is probably an understatement.
Yeah. Quite so. Well done, everyone. Terrific game.
Thank you.
Terrific game.
£20,000. Well, you've got
Dermot,
to divvy
what
that
was the
up between
answer?
you. The Red Cross.
Oh.
Red Cross. Judith, I did hear you say that.
Judith did suggest
You did
it,
say
but we just didn't know.
They were rude.
I have no idea.
So, let's just round it up. You won £20,000. You are officially cleverer than the Eggheads, for today at least. You've proved it can be done. Eggheads, you must be more than disappointed, I suppose, to see that long winning streak go down.
Yes, but we couldn't have lost to a nicer team, could we?
You see, Danny, isn't she lovely? Even in her disappointment, she covers it up. Streatham Massive, you've proved the Eggheads can be beaten. Join us next time on Eggheads to see if the new team of challengers will be just as successful. Goodbye.
Having just beaten the Eggheads and won £20,000, it feels fantastic. We've seen it on TV before. It almost looks impossible, and to be the 20th team to beat them where the first 19 failed, brilliant.
The two of us, me and Chris, on our own against 4 Eggheads, double 15-to-1 champion, grand champion, and we beat them, and it's great.
Marvellous.